So this one's been sitting heavy on my heart for the last day, and I had a therapy session about it. So I think it's just useful to like break it down. Um, yeah, how can I say this in like nice words? I don't actually. There's no nice words to say this. My biological mother is dead to me. She's been dead to me for a while. And when I say that, I don't mean like I wish ill on her. It simply means that she is like not a part of my life in any way. Like, you know how when someone is actually deceased, like there's nothing more they can like give to you in your like lived experience because the idea of them, the thought of them, just there's nothing that they could do that would impact your life. There are many people who I've known in the past who are like that. I mean, if I don't talk to you right now, you're dead to me. So if you didn't know, surprise. Like, but she is on that list. And I've done a lot. I've done a lot because I really thought I was going to try to repair that relationship. I was on like this. I started paying $200 a session for family therapy sessions to try to mend that relationship. And my goal was not to get to some place where, I feel like all of our problems were resolved. That was not my goal. My goal was to get to a place where we were cordial enough that I could attend her funeral because she's elderly, so she's going to die soon. But I wanted to be able to attend her funeral and pay respects to her. I don't even feel like that anymore. Fuck that bitch. Honestly, like, you are so dead to me. Stop text messaging me, please. Like, I received a text message from her last night and it ruined my whole fucking day. And I wanna describe to you guys, and I'll share these messages so you can read them out loud, but I want to describe to you guys the last sort of interaction we had. So I stopped paying for family therapy because I just felt like so if you don't know this history of our relationship, when I started working in tech, I spent a very large portion of my money renovating our home, our family home. And then my mom sold the home and used that money to retire exclusively for herself. So I never got any money from that. And then I was forced to go get my own apartment now after having been the sole provider of pretty much all of the financial things related to the home that we all lived in for a very long time. But besides that, there are a multitude of other things that this bitch has contributed to that have seriously caused my life to be worse in serious ways. And those we will begin to unpack. And I'm going to give this about 2 more weeks. Like, I'm going to give this about 2 more weeks to kind of resolve. I've really been trying to have this end on some sort of note that at least is cordial, but fuck it. Like, it ain't getting cordial. It ain't getting better. If you want to hear the tea about the bullshit, go over to my legal channel because we're just going to break it down docket by docket, judge by judge, because I'm like so tired of fucking playing nice. Like, nothing is actually nice about this, but and here's another thing that I think that people think is very funny. I don't think it's funny. I don't think that civil war or racial wars like the kind that are happening now are funny. Like, I have for a very long time tried to keep my racism on the low, like not propagate it out into society to make it known, like the black supremacist ways that I grew up in, to not like literally tell other people like I think you're trash because of your race. But at this point, what's the point of playing nice? Like, why? I'm sorry, nobody else has been playing nice with me. And I've just been, you try to take shit on the chin for long enough, all right? And then 2025 hit and you'll be like, fuck the bullshit. All right, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. Um okay, let's go on. So let's just go back to this story though, because this story is actually pretty juicy. So I just told you guys the situation about the family home. I'm playing that down. That is like a 2-hour saga if we were to tell that one play by play. Anyway, so don't live there anymore. So then when I talked about this before, and I even have a playlist that's called like, Olivia in therapy, something like that. If you can listen to those one by one, I actually just recorded my therapy sessions, so you can just listen to them. Those were very difficult to get to because I'd never started. That was my first time starting talk therapy. And I also realized that I was in a very privileged place because there were so few Black women who had access to talk therapy. That is still the case. But especially at that time, it was like striking gold, right? Because I will also say, like, mental health in the Black community is definitely stigmatized in these awful ways, even though most of the Black people you talk to are severely traumatized. So that's a whole thing. But anyway, so let's keep going. So basically, so I don't talk to my mom for like 2 years. I changed my number. We don't talk at all. I am going to therapy, unpacking all the shit that I feel like she's done wrong, all these issues that I'm having in our relationship and other things, and a whole bunch of shit with myself, right? Now, okay. So eventually, basically, the reason I had to actually move to Tennessee is because over this time, I accumulated about 5 stalkers. Someone broke into my mailbox. I talked about that here. I think people are downplaying how serious that is, but so I was living in Berkeley, and I think that community hates Black women. I can pretty much be sure of it because there was a homeless man who literally first stalked me around the campus and then just started following me around town. I have multiple videos here where that man actually is like I get off the BART train, he follows me like 4 blocks like down the street and just starts yelling profanities at me. It's like actually insane. Does anybody care about that? No. Why? Because I've told you guys this before. UC Berkeley is a campus that is promotes eugenics, like promotes race science. Like there are PhD race scientists there. You cannot believe me. You can think I'm joking. I feel like I just read it just got rated the number one university, the number one public university in the country. Let that shit sink in. Racism is bigger than capitalism in America. I'll say it again. Racism is bigger than capitalism in America. And the racists will go fucking broke because they will die protecting a noose before they protect their dollars. And that's the truth. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Okay, so let's keep going. So basically, in my mom's home, she has all of the my childhood photos. And so what I do is I basically sign up for this service that digitizes photographs. Okay. So the service, not me, the service sends her a box and all she has to do is like fill the box with the photographs and then take the box to the post office. So I'm waiting for her to do this, and 5 fucking months go by. Let me say that again. 5 months go by, and she doesn't send any photograph. And I'm like, following up on this, it's like 2 months go by. I'm like, hey, do you remember the box? Can you like put the photos in the box and like send the box back? I'm trying to get these photos. And she's like, oh, I don't do it. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. And she doesn't do it. 4 months, 5 months. So then it gets to the point where I basically say, can you please provide a date in the next week when you will send the images in the prepaid box? A lot of time has gone by and I don't want to lose the images. If you don't provide a date within the next week, I'll be forced to take legal action. This is what I say. I also said this. I said, please remove all images of me from your social media and home. And then after I say that, it looks like about a week later. No, this is actually 20 days later. 20 days later, I got a notification that she sent in the photographs. And so I said, you only had 86 photographs. That doesn't sound correct. If there were boxes of images and you only sent 86, where are the other images? Here's what she says. I gave you the ones I had easy access to. I have many bins with pictures in my storage, and the one I sent had your name on the bin. If and when you need something from me, it's absolutely necessary you give respect first, just so you know when I don't respond, you're out of line. Please check yourself because I don't need nothing from you and I don't owe you anything. Take care of yourself. So here's how I respond. I said, I haven't said anything disrespectful to you. I do need my images. If you would like to cooperate and give those images to me without law enforcement, okay. If not, we can just use the legal system. Now, that was the last message I sent to her. I felt like it was very clear about where I stood, about the images mostly, but really that was my way of saying, this relationship is over. Now, this is what she sends last night. Last night was also a pretty significant date, but We don't need to talk about that right now. We'll just postpone that for later. But here's what she said. She says, "Hi, Olivia. I hope you're well. Just a brief check in. Be well, stay safe, peace, and many blessings." Um, yeah, that did not sit well with me. It seems like a pretty innocent message, right? It actually wasn't. I don't think that she was trying to be controversial. I honestly think that she was just thinking about me, and it was hurtful to me because I wish she wouldn't think about me. Like, if it isn't clear, like, I don't like her, I don't love her, and now I don't even respect her. So don't send me any messages. Don't check on me. Don't watch my videos. Don't try to follow me on social media. Don't ask about me. Actually, don't even mention my name. Forget that you ever birthed a daughter. Here's what I said to her. I said, "You don't need to check on me. I have come to terms with the fact that we will never have a relationship." Um, I'm going to skip that part. But what I said is, I hope the rest of your life turns out the way you planned it without me. Honestly, I don't understand you at all. If you want to do some good in society, you should advocate for other women to have full access to abortion. You should have had an abortion. You should have never birthed me. It was a mistake on your part. And there is no need for either of us to pretend or to actually suffer through this relationship any longer. I'm going to skip that part too. Um, I said, there was nothing worse than being born to a mother like you. All of it has been hell. It's taken a while, but I think I'm almost at a place where I can put the awful memory of you and your DNA in the past forever. Um, and that's kind of pretty much a summary of about how I feel about our relationship and about her as a person. Sometimes some women shouldn't be mothers. My mother is one of those people. I do think that my mother did. I'm not gonna say she did any justice with birthing my brother. I do think that parental relationship for her worked out better. I think that there's some good that has come from that for her. I'm not gonna I don't like, what I'm saying is that when she found out that she was pregnant with a girl, she should have terminated that pregnancy. There was no need to put society through this. Like, it has been nothing short of awful. Like, I am positive that there's no person who has a mother who's worse than mine. Mine takes the cake. The thing I've been actually comparing it to recently is the story of Precious. Like, I do think that the Precious movie and the mother in Precious was a bit worse than mine, but in different ways, right? Like, I didn't have the boyfriend molesting me and things like that. Like, that didn't happen. But there are just so many other ways that a parent can be awful. And mine certainly was. There have been so many times when she could have just stood up and just done anything, said anything to try to make it better. To try to be empathetic to the fact that there's a living person who happens to be her offspring, and she fucking wouldn't even do that. She wouldn't even do that. That is a characteristic of not just a narcissist, but of evil. And I want to call out that evil because I've called out other people have gotten shade in this space before. The shade is distributed relatively equally, but for her the disdain is slightly different. It's a level of dislike that is almost unhealthy, right? Like, I've explained to her before how little I want her in my life, right? And I just felt like I have already vocalized my last straw. The family therapy was my last attempt to be civil to her. We have already talked about my racist dead grandmother. That bitch died, and it was the happiest day of my life thus far. Until the day my mother dies. Then that will be the happiest day of my life. It's like, I really feel like for some reason, the others out here are just expecting us to, like, Mourn for bigots. And mourn for people who we severely dislike. And hold your fucking tongue, because I'm not the one. Like, I have no empathy, sympathy, remorse, or regrets for racists. Like, what? It's like that's the part about that like radical conversation that was like so it was not just frustrating because those are black men like castrate them immediately. Also, they are not that. See, that's another thing I want to make clear, and I'll say it in this video to be like very specific. Sometimes people are under this impression that when black men say, well, I'm black too, well, we're black, you need to tell them, like, we are from the same place. Like, describe to me, what is your relationship to Africa, to blackness, to like, what is it? Because clearly, like, what it ain't is whatever, like, I'm experiencing. That's why I saw, I can't remember who posted this yesterday, but they said, I think black men and black women are from different planets. I fucking agree. Especially the ones who were on that panel. If I'm black, those niggers ain't me. They ain't nothing like me. We don't come from the same blood, the same tribe, the same fucking continent. Those people are Americans. They are from here. That's what the fuck they are. And I'm not that. What I don't, we are not the same. Not like us. And I hope it's very clear that my mother understands it as well. I'm not like her. I don't like her. I have tried very hard, though, to work up to a point where I could gather some respect for her. That was my goal. I worked very hard to try to be able to respect her because I do think that sometimes some people make mistakes. And maybe like she had a moment where there was like a mistake, and then she got some time and she thought about it and she was like, oh man, I really fucked up. But I just want to be better. I've realized like time has gone on, time has gone by. We've had many conversations where there's tried to be like moments of reflection where you can be like, oh, so you realize like you did this and this thing caused harm, right? You know that. And it's like, no, like she doesn't know. She's not sure. She doesn't know. Like it's still like fuzzy in her brain. And enough time has gone on to where I realize that the repair won't ever happen. She will never grow. She will never change. She will never get better. The same way I understood it about my grandma. She was born a bigot and she was going to die a bigot. And that's exactly what happened. And they're the bigot empathizers who showed up and they were like, oh, it wasn't me though, obviously. Like, I wrote a whole song called Send Me the Obituary. I think I released that. And maybe we should just replay that moment because I think it was like a really nice reflection in time. It was like a move forward, which I think it was also very interesting being around people who like they couldn't identify with the fact that that anyone could be comfortable with the distance that I was like placing between us. It was very strange to like to hear to get to understand the response. That was a long way around telling that story, but I did feel like it needed to be said by me because I feel like I don't like her walking through the world with some impression that we are friendly, that there is love in this relationship, that there's some level of respect or like some baseline of like we will ever be on good terms. We won't. Whatever potential there was, kill it. Like it won't happen. I'm sure. I've given it time. I've given it energy. I tried. It's not even worth it wasn't really even worth the breath to say this, but I do feel like it was necessary for me to say this to like lay it to rest because it'll be the last time that I'm talking about that woman. And it was so bothersome to it was like it was even disrespectful for her to reach out, honestly. Like that was disrespectful. It was so disrespectful because I was very clear about where we stand. Like, I was extremely clear. There was no room for interpretation. And for some reason in her fucking mind, she believes that there's still room for interpretation. Like in her house, she has a fucking collage of me. Another reason that I wanted to actually tell the story of like Tristan or Tope, because she was like taking all of these photos of me. I hope she took it down because I asked her to take it down. But she had this collage of me in her house with it was like all the things that I did in my previous career. She just put up the fucking pictures. And in one of the therapy sessions, she like shows the collage on her wall. And I was so confused. Like, first of all, I didn't know she had any photos of me in her house at all. That was disrespectful. Then when I saw the collage, though, it was like my heart dropped in a way. Like, it wasn't just disappointment. Like, disappointment would be like let down. I felt like my personal space was invaded. I felt targeted. I felt like I felt so disrespected. And it was, so what I did, I asked her, I was like, explain what are those pictures? Like who are those people? She couldn't name any of the people in the collage. She didn't know any of their names. She didn't know any of their stories. Somehow though, she got the pictures. Who gave her these? I blocked her from all social media, so how the fuck did she get them? Somebody make it make sense. It's just like I cannot continue to be a willing participant in this narrative. This is the point. I can't do it. Like take me out. Cuz the like bad feelings and bad experiences that I have with this woman are like they're unsalvageable. And I put my best foot forward to try to salvage them. It ain't happening. So yeah, if you wonder why I don't talk about my biological mother, that's fucking why. We got beef. So